The original sweaters being worn tonight and a copy of the original program, the Blackhawks Chicago National Hockey Team Incorporated, which cost 15 cents for that program. And if you would have been able to open that up, you would have been able to see the name of Talon in there in the Hawk lineup.
Grandpa Talon, yeah. And here's tonight's program, a commemorative NHL 75th anniversary issue. And certainly it's not 15 cents. Maybe a quarter, but.
All right, here we go with the third period. A 2-2 game, and Jimmy Waite is the main reason for that. The Blackhawks have to try to get untracked offensively here in the third period. And here come the Wings off the draw. Fedorov 3-on-3 to the line. Got poke checked nicely by Chelios. And it's cleared to the neutral zone. Here comes Noonan over the line, weaving into the slot, kicked it to the stick and tried to shoot, but it didn't get through. And cleared to the near board where Fedorov captures for Detroit. He got it to center, and the return pass from Racine didn't click. Here's Chelios deep in his own end, winding it behind, and Steve Smith has to chase after it. Now Thomas on the near board. Steve Thomas bangs it down into the Red Wing zone. There's Brad McCrimmon. Long feed taken away by Kuchera at center ice. Ranasek Kuchera flipped it back into the Red Wing zone. Taken by Lidstrom. Passed it around the boards. McCrimmon got a big hit from Lemieux in the corner, who took it away. He got it in front to Tonelli. A shot, and he shot it up off the glass. Now Marchman kept it in. Now a steal by the Wings. Lidstrom, Nicholas Lidstrom. Rolls it back into Chicago territory to the stick of Marchman. 22-year-old Brian Marchman cleared it, not out. Here's McCrimmon trying to center. Quick shot, they score! What a shot by Jimmy Carson, a one-timer. As the Hawks failed to clear it, McCrimmon found Carson alone and bang. It's 3-2 Detroit.
Bob Probert's presence created that scoring chance. Peluso had a chance to play it around the boards, knew that Probert was coming. He took a look, took his eye off the puck. They braced for the hit. The puck was kept in by McCrimmon. He faked it, slid it over to Carson, and Carson, with the puck well in front of him, somehow was able to swat at it and put it past Jimmy Waite. But the presence of Bob Probert, who gets a lot of room and respect, created that scoring opportunity as Peluso was unable to clear the puck.
Jimmy Carson capitalized now right from the draw. Here's Probert taking a big swing at the Hawk player that goes down in the turtle. Stu Grimson trying to take a hit for the team, and he did. Probert, it looked like he might have landed a big right, and Grimson never took his gloves off, and Probert now costing the Red Wing after making a good play to help set up the lead goal. He now heads to the box, and the Hawks to the power play, and Grimson has a big welt on his face already. 3-2 Wings.
Bob Probert, 315 minutes in penalties last year in 55 games. Goes to the locker room. He drills Stu Grimson. Grimson went in the turtle, but Probert was just hammering away. Grimson still without the gloves or stick down, and then Probert tried to gouge his eyes out after with the left, with the fingers, as Grimson was turned away from him.
5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct.
139, 2, 5, and 10 for Probert.
2 minutes for roughing at 139.
Well, Grimson gets 2 minutes for roughing at 139, but the 5-minute power play now for the Blackhawks as they trail 3-2.
Well, you talk about taking a hit for the team. Stu Grimson did that big time right there.
Well, that was the 10-minute misconduct is now a game misconduct.
So the Wings taking the lead at 133. They drop the puck, and 6 seconds later, Grimson jumped by Probert, and the Red Wings now facing a 5-minute shorthanded situation. And of course, with a major, it's the full 5. The Hawks have an opportunity to score as many goals as possible, and the Wings will be shorthanded the full 5 minutes.
Detroit goal scored by Carson.
Carson gets his first from McCrimmon at 133, and now Cheveldae will be busier than he was in this segment, probably more than he was the entire second period.
Hawk power play was brilliant in the first period. It was awful in the second period. Let's see how the third period turns out for the Chicago special team. Roenick battles along the near board, works it loose to Goulet in the corner. Michel Goulet to the line, and Steve Smith across for Chris Chelios. Back to Smith. Put it into the corner, Larmer. Steve Larmer looks to clear, or had it to take it away, and the Red Wings clear. And now Smith's pass deflected. Roenick has to turn back for it. Had it poked away. Eisbart over the Hawk line, trying to center one. Deflects to the line, held in by Racine, shooting. And it deflected wide. Coming to the near point, McCrimmon kept it in, but now Smith takes over for Chicago. He cleared it to center ice. Chelios feeding it ahead, and then Noonan was poke checked at the Detroit line. Kuchera bumped off the puck at center, stolen away. Here's a lead for Eisbart. He tries to cut in. A quick shot goes wide. And now Goulet starting back. Feeding Kuchera to center. Throws it into the Red Wing zone. Racine back. Turns looking for Yzerman, who clears. In the first minute and a half of this power play, the Hawks have been unable to get it into the Red Wing zone for any length of time. Here's Keith Brown. He pounds it in there. Around to the near side. Graham works the board. Now Graham pried it loose, but right to the stick of Yzerman. And the Detroit captain clears it. And a great start to this shorthanded situation for the visitors from Detroit. Keith Brown had not reached center when he dumped it in, but Cheveldae plays it, so the play stays alive. Brad Marsh and Creighton battle in the corner. Now the puck came loose to the line. Brown moves it up the boards to Graham. Takes a look. There's a shot. Tipped right on. Rebound. They score! Adam Creighton picked up the rebound. And on the power play, the Hawks have tied the game at 3.
Keith Brown at the point, faked the shot, slipped it into Graham. Graham waited. Defenseman moved in, tried to feed it across to Kuchera. Was swatted at by Cheveldae. Creighton gets the rebound and pops it in with Cheveldae on the seat of his pants. Kuchera coming in out of your screen. Graham tries to feed it across. It was deflected by Creighton. I think it was intended for Kuchera. Cheveldae made the initial save, but couldn't make the second save while he was down. A power play goal. There's still 2:49 remaining on the 5-minute major given to Bob Probert. So Creighton gets his first, and all 3 Blackhawk goals will come with the man advantage.
We mentioned the Hawks needing a big year from Adam Creighton. And he provides a very important goal in game 1 to get the Hawks even. And still half of that major penalty remaining. And I think Brian Murray is taking time here, or it looks like he is, as the Detroit players head over toward their bench. But all Eisbart over the Hawk line. Was surrounded, then his pass is deflected. And here comes Creighton back. Adam Creighton into the Red Wing zone. Moves in against Zombo, who rides him into the corner. A big flurry in there. Peluso jammed it out to Creighton. He centered it. Oh, Tonelli just shanked it wide of the net. Now Marchment in the far corner. Moves in there deep. Brian Marchment takes a look. Trying to put it to the deep slot, but it hits the skate. Back to center ice with 2 minutes left on the major penalty to Bob Probert. Early in the third, we're tied at 3. Here come the Hawks on the power play. Goulet has the line, racing in on Marsh. Dropped it for Larmer. He peels off to the corner. Steve Larmer. And to get it to Goulet, who scored the first 2 goals of the game for Chicago. Now Goulet side of the net, shoots. He just missed the near post by an inch or 2. And it winds up back at the Hawk line. Larmer up the near board. Tied up there. Fedorov took it away and cleared. Here's Chris Chelios. He comes speeding to center ice. Got around Fedorov, then put it over the line. Goulet stops along the boards. Was surrounded, and it's taken away by Fedorov. There to center. Smith there. Back over the line to Goulet. He feeds Roenick on the near board. Shoots one with a backhander, and a good block by March. Now Larmer came up with it. To the line, Smith. Across to Chelios. Back to Steve Smith at the near point. Up the boards for Goulet. He leaves it for Smith to the corner. Roenick center. Larmer. Oh, he couldn't hold the pass. He was right in. Now Chelios. To Smith. Steve Smith's pass deflected back to center, and now there's half a minute to go on the Detroit penalty. Roenick. Got it over the line to Thomas. Fires! And a save by Cheveldae. The rebound to Goulet for Thomas. Oh, Cheveldae, a great poke check. Now Smith held it in. He got it to Noonan. Noonan takes a look back to Smith. The one-timer. Didn't get through. Bounced away from Thomas, and the Wings clear it. And the Detroit penalty now is over, so the Hawks able to get the equalizer with the 5-minute power play, but could not grab the lead. Here's Noonan to the line. Primo knocked the stick flying right out of his hands with a check. And it's cleared to center ice where Brown puts it.
Just like I thought he was. He was slick. He was hard to hit.
75th anniversary. Boston knocked off the Rangers 5-3, and Montreal beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3. Said the Toronto Maple Leafs took the train to Montreal. I don't believe they'll be doing that anymore. Keep playing like they played last year, they'll be taking the bus.
Now Primo has the line. He got it to the near side. Here's Galano. Maybe one pass too many for Detroit. Back come the Blackhawks. Adam Creighton dumps it in. Cheveldae looking to clear. He did get it to center ice. Taken by Brown. Rolls it back into the Detroit end. Cheveldae sweeps it to the near board. Big Keith Primo in the collision with Stu Grimson. Now Creighton in there as well. And they hold it on the boards long enough to get a whistle.
The guys seem to be getting bigger and stronger. Primo 6'4", 220. He's just 20 years old. Maybe collision in the corner. Grimson, a big man as well. Creighton 6'5". Sambo, the Chicago area native, really has been one of the steadier blue liners for the Detroit Red Wings, and been a plus-minus leader in this team for years. Keith Primo, he's a big guy, a young guy. It's going to take him some time to get his coordination, but he's got great credentials, and he looks more impressive this year in this game alone than he did all of last season in limited duty.
Here's a situation you talked about earlier. John Tonelli on for the draw. He got beat that time, however. And McCrimmon clears it to center where Fedorov looks for Shepard, and a good play by Steve Smith to take it away. Steve Smith, if you joined us late, acquired yesterday by the Blackhawks from Edmonton, has not skated because he was involved in a contract holdout. He has not skated for 10 days. A lot of question whether he would play tonight, but he's played regularly, played very well. You never would have known that he hasn't been on skates. Now Chelios looking for Tonelli. Deflecting it to center ice. Greg Gilbert picks it up there. Lifted ahead into the Red Wing end. Ray Shepard on right wing. Cleared it ahead. Yzerman kicked it to the stick. Back to Shepard. The drive. That's blocked by Conroy nicely. Now Fedorov along the boards. Deep slot. Here's Racine's shot. Blocked by Goulet, who got out to his man in time. Back of the net is Yzerman dancing in front. He got knocked down, and the play goes on as Goulet slides it back into the Red Wing zone. Roenick hustling in there after it. Racine with a good hit separates him from the puck, and the Red Wings will clear it back the other way. This will be an icing call against Detroit. Pat Foley and Dale Talon in Chicago Stadium, along with 17,880 watching opening night. They're watching the Wings come in. Oh, and at the last second, Kevin Miller went down before he could get rid of a shot, and back come the Hawks. Steve Thomas steps over the line, got around Racine, he cuts in, moves in, he shoots. Oh, it hit a man on the goal crease, and now no goal. The puck wound up in the net. Kerry Frazier said it was batted in with a glove. And what a bad break for Steve Thomas, who fired the puck past the fallen goaltender Cheveldae, only to have it hit a couple of players who had been wrestling and wound up in the net.
Well, Brian Noonan was shoved into the crease, lost his footing, and was tripped into the crease. Steve Thomas blew around the defenseman. Racine went down. Noonan is shoved into the net. Clearly an interference penalty, and the Detroit player goes into the net with him. That's one of those new college frat things where you try to get as many players in the net as possible to set a record in the Guinness Book. But the goal called in, shoved in by Noonan. Clearly Noonan put it in with his hand, but we don't know if the puck had crossed the line or not. But Fraser came in and waved it off. And Noonan pushed in and kept into the net. There are two players inside, and Steve Thomas would have had a glorious scoring chance if Noonan hadn't been pushed in the crease.
By the way,
Zombo with a good heads-up play there, understanding that he was in trouble, and he put Noonan and himself into the net.
By the way, the much ballyhooed debut of instant replay in the National Hockey League will be delayed, at least in this building. There's been some equipment that has not arrived or something, and there is no instant replay situation in this particular game.
No goal allowed and no penalty either. Zombo was lucky. He should have gotten an interference penalty there. You see, knocked Noonan into the net deliberately.
Now the Wings on the attack. Here's a centering pass, a turnaround shot attempted by Gallant, but it was blocked, and back comes Thomas, feeding to the right wing boards, and Dirk Graham ruled to be offside on the play.
Dave Thomas and Garpenlov getting their sticks up, and then Gallant comes over and has words. Now Brown is in the middle of it.
Everybody separating here with 10 minutes left in the third period. The game is 50 minutes old. Dale Talon, the Blackhawks have been held to 15 shots on goal.
They've only scored their goals with a power play. The man advantage has really kept them in the game. At even strength, Detroit's had the better of the play, the better chances, though there have been many chances. But they've had an edge. And that was one question mark going into this year. Can the Hawks offense meet the challenge? Their defense has done the job tonight and throughout last year, but there's going to be more pressure on their defense if they don't score and get some offense at even strength.
Now in the neutral zone, Keith Brown rolls it up the boards. It deflects to Kuchera. Lead for Gilbert. Too far for him on the left wing board. Back into the red wing zone it goes, and Konstantinov to Gallant on the left side. He couldn't get it out. Back of the net it goes to Tonelli. He and Marsh dueling there. Now Lemieux in after it. Came up with it against Carson. Looking for Tonelli again, and again he and Marsh crashed together. Now it's dug out of there with one hand by Lemieux, but he couldn't get off the shot. Gerard Gallant then again failed to clear it. Lemieux in deep for Tonelli. This time it's he and Konstantinov.
Oh, these new magnetic boards are working well.
And a big collision again. Konstantinov really got hammered along the boards.
And why did Kerry Fraser blow the whistle? The puck wasn't frozen and still in play, and he blew the whistle. But great board work by Tonelli and Lemieux as they just outworked Konstantinov. Not familiar with this style of play. I would imagine a small rink, used to the bigger ice surfaces in international hockey, and not a lot of board work, a lot more open ice work. And Tonelli, who's a veteran at it, he and Brad Marsh had a battle. Lemieux and Konstantinov had a battle. Brad Marsh with that stickum all over his body and his equipment, able to hold on quite well against Tonelli. I wonder how many times they've battled along the boards, how many slivers they've had to pull out of their uniforms.
Probably build a pretty good sized boat if you put them all together. The Detroit Red Wings are trying to win their first game of the year, which if they do would be the first time in a decade that they've been able to win game one of their season. Their last 9 openers, Detroit has lost 6 and tied 3. The last time they won their initial game of the season was in 1981 when they beat the Rangers 5-2. 9 minutes to go here in the third period. Locked up at 3. Here comes Steve Yzerman. He has the Hawk line weaving to the far side. Stick handling around Chelios. He lost him behind the net. Now centered a shot. And it may have deflected wide. In behind it is fought for as Shepard got turned around to the plate. Fedorov after it. Then Shepard got it. Centering. Deflected to the line. Held in. A long shot from Lidstrom goes wide. And again it's picked up by Yzerman. Works in behind the Hawk goal. Trying to center one too far for Shepard. It's held in by McCrimmon. Trying to bank pass off the end boards. It didn't click. Now the Wings able to gain control. Here's Fedorov leaving for Yzerman. Long Flip shot gloved easily by Waite. And he'd like to hang on as the Hawks are running around in their own zone like they were in a fire drill. And Jimmy Waite gets a whistle. Still tied here at 3-up.
Doing their impersonations of the Harlem Globetrotters in that last play, or I should say the Red Wings, all over Chicago in their own zone, not allowing them any opportunity to get out of the zone.
After the Hawks had a problem on their last shift, now it's Creighton, Lemieux, and Peluso. On for Chicago. Here come the Wings. Here's a lead. Another breakaway for the Wings. Wait a minute. You're not going to score there. Jimmy Waite stopped Eisbart, who was in all alone. And now an offside play at the other end. Jimmy Waite, a spectacular debut for the 91-92 campaign. And here are all the people that were chanting Eddie, Eddie in the first 4 minutes of the game. How quickly they forget.
At 3:57, the chant Eddie, Eddie, Eddie after Fedorov made it 2-0. But now he's getting a standing ovation. Well, the third breakaway of the night for the Red Wings. Perfect pass. He stuck in behind everyone. Eisbart tried to go to the same spot that Fedorov scored on, but Waite that time showed a quicker glove. Got a piece of it, and the Red Wing player overskated the rebound as everyone let the Red Wings get back into position for a second opportunity. Well, Jimmy Waite has made some great saves since the start of the second period.
Now the play at center, and Tonelli, or rather Roenick, got stopped at the Detroit line and shot the other way. Smith puts the touch on it for an icing call against Detroit. Jimmy Waite keeping the Hawks in it. Still locked up at 3. Pat Foley, Dale Talon in Chicago Stadium. A great opening night for year 75 of the NHL. An exciting hockey game between two Norris Division rivals. The Red Wings a year ago on the road in 40 games had only 8 wins. And they must improve on that this season. Here's Zombo looking for Eisbart. He got help from Sean Burr. He just fires at the length, and it's going to be an icing call again against Detroit.
Well, in their 66 years that they've played each other, the Red Wings have won 110 times against the Blackhawks on the road, but they have a big advantage at home. And an advantage overall in 595 games. 293 to 228 and 74 have ended up in ties.
25-year-old Sean Burr gets ready as Lemieux and Kevin Miller will go for the draw. Now Miller and Lemieux tossed out. So it's Burr and Graham. And Graham got it to Kucher, whose shot is blocked, and the Red Wings off to the races. Here comes Eisbart. Gets the line shooting. He tried for the top shelf and shot it up off the glass. Back come the Hawks now. Thomas into the offensive zone. The drive, and Brad Marsh, the deflection up over the glass into the crowd. 10 seconds here for station identification.
Sports Channel America is where you'll find exclusive national cable television coverage of all NHL regular season and Stanley Cup playoff games. We're glad you're with us.
Eisman replaces Sean Burr at center in this particular shift, but what a good effort by Sean Burr, who lost the draw in the last sequence in his own zone. Puck came back to Kuchera, who let one rip, but Burr just threw his body in front of it, blocked it. And Eisbart had a partial break along the near boards and cranked one high and wide just over the glove hand of Jimmy Waite.
For that man, Steve Yzerman, the Detroit captain, 4 straight years of 50 goals or more and 100 points or more. The last 4 in a row.
He's already 3rd in the all-time scoring list for the Detroit Red Wings, and he's only played 8 years.
And he's got 800 points. Now here come the Wings, and Jimmy Waite forcing the man too wide. Here come the Hawks back 3-on-2 if they hurry. Here's Larmer. He's got the line, moving into traffic and couldn't get off a shot. Detroit on the counterattack. Yzerman chipped it ahead, and a good play by Goulet defensively to stop that rush, but the Wings try to move back in, and that is thwarted as well.
Goulet heads up play. Steve Smith, or Smith went in deep, got caught, and Goulet had thoughts of going in and settled back and took a spot, and it was a good thing because he made up a good play.
He Larmer's centering pass deflects into the far corner. Hacked around to the near side. Kuchera keeps it in and puts it back around the board. Gerard Gallant cleared it to center ice. Hawks dump it back in there, and here's Brad McCrimmon. Over to Johan Garpenloff, who bounces it to the line, and now it trickles back to center ice. And Gallant got around Brown, steps over the Hawk line, and Brian Noonan tied up his stick from behind beautifully to prevent a very dangerous chance. Here come the Hawks now. Brown will dump it in there as Chicago heads for a change, and they ruled that he did not reach center. So an icing call made here against the Blackhawks. Brian Noonan the last couple of years has had more trips to Indianapolis than A.J. Foyt, and his 5th year as a member of the Chicago organization. And the Hawks, you talked about the need to get some other offensive production. Here's a very skillful player who very well could provide some of that.
Well, he needs to get off to a good start, though, because they have not been patient with Noonan. Though he's had good training camps, he has not had good starts. And as a result, the last 2 years he's found himself gone to Indianapolis. And he's had some good years the last 2 years. 40 goals 2 seasons ago and 38 goals last year with Indianapolis in limited time as far as total number of games. But he had a wonderful training camp, led the team in scoring in exhibition play, and made a fine defensive play in that last situation with Gallant bearing in on the left wing.
Here's an errant pass by the Hawks. Another icing call coming up here against Chicago.
And both these teams settling into a defensive battle here in the last 5 minutes of this period with 5 minutes to go. A lot of neutral ice play, a lot of safe plays by both teams around the boards and dump outs and dump ins. And it's going to come down, I think, to face-off special situations that you have to give the edge to the Red Wings with their centermen, because the Hawks are not good at face-offs. And that was one of their negatives last year and in the playoffs.
In the last 35 minutes of this hockey game, Detroit has limited Chicago to a grand total of 6 shots on net. Tim Chevelday's major problem has been remaining alert. There is Chevelday clearing it around the boards. Burr hacked it out to center the race on there, and Conroy got to the loose puck for Graham. Banks it ahead to Lemieux. Jocelyn Lemieux's pass hit McCrimmon, and Brad McCrimmon clears it back the other way. Brian Marchment out to center, and Thomas gets over the line and then stick handled it back outside. Well, the offside whistle blows. 4.5 to go in the third. Hawks 3, Wings 3.
Yeah, we just scored. No, I didn't see Kevin get hit. Kev, you okay?
I wind up in the hospital, and Bob gets a winning goal.
I couldn't let Kevin miss the party.
I was having a pretty good time where I was.
Friends to...
Down to white knuckle time in the stadium. A 3-3 game into the last few minutes of the third. Here's Racine in his own end. Looking to clear, couldn't get it out. Now it is cleared back to the Chicago line. Taken by Smith. Gave it to Goulet. Long feed just off the stick of Larmer. Back into the Red Wing end. He and Racine come together behind the net. And they'll hold it there for a whistle.
Well, Gary Fraser with a quick whistle tonight whenever there's been a situation along the boards where players are trying to freeze it and trying to pry it loose. Second time in this part of the period where he's blown the whistle quickly to get faceoffs. Michel Goulet with 2 goals in his first 2 shots. 5:31 and 9:48 of the first period. Both goals coming on the power play. And now he has 489 career goals. Very nearly had the hat trick, Pat, on his next shift and a short-handed opportunity. Fedorov, great rookie year, but he has to learn to play better on the road. He only had 52 of his points on the road, or at home, I should say, Fedorov. Of the 79 he scored.
Now Hawk steal, centering pass. Oh, and Creighton lifted it just wide of the target. And the Wings looked to clear, but Creighton held it in for a moment. Now Fedorov comes back for Detroit. Fedorov got turned around at the Hawk line. He drops it back to Konstantinov, who pounds it in. Chelios back. There's Chelios to Brian Noonan. Covered by Carson along the board. Hawks don't get it out. Here's Burr, a long wrist shot deflecting, and Peluso slides it back to the Red Wing end. Vladimir Konstantinov to Jimmy Carson. He shovels it in. Pete Brown puts it around the boards, and now it's finally corralled by the Hawks. Kuchera. He's got the line, turning on the near board, and then ran into traffic there. The Wings start back. Carson on for Gallant, who's pass deflects, and Kuchera controls for Chicago. Gave it to Thomas, banked away from him to McCrimmon, and a shot sailed just wide of the far post. Now Graham couldn't get it out. Back into the far corner it goes. Carson put it to the deep slot. Here's a shot, and Lindstrom's drive deflected up high. Now Graham sends it back the other way, and it'll be an icing call coming up here against the Blackhawks.
Hawks had possession. That bank pass along the near boards deflected off Thomas to McCrimmon. McCrimmon almost gave Detroit the go-ahead goal. I think Waite might have gotten a piece of it with the edge of the blocker.
Down to 2.5 minutes remaining in the third period. We mentioned the Red Wings last year on the road. They won only 8 games out of 40. The Blackhawks last year at home lost only 8 games out of 40. They had the second best home record in the league. Face off to the left of Jimmy Waite, who has been nothing short of terrific. The draw is taken by the Hawks. Now Roenick, been used sparingly in the later stages of this game. He spins in the corner, dropped it back to the line. Conroy shot, and a save by Chevrolet. Rebound Roenick. Gave it to Conroy on the board. Centered one. It deflected away from Roenick and winds up back in the Hawk zone on the stick of Marchman. 2 minutes to go in the third. Brad Marsh. Up the right wing boards, taken by Eisbart. Drives it in. Kevin Miller to the corner. Knocked off his stick to the goal mouth, and a diving Waite goes down to halt the play.
Jimmy Waite has done that with regularity tonight. Whenever his team has been in trouble, he's shown good composure, and he's been able to freeze the puck. President of the National Hockey League, John Ziegler, trying to tell that young lady where he got his shirt.
Looks like he borrowed that tie from the gal sitting next to him.
We mentioned Jimmy Waite showing a lot of composure, though he's limited in experience in the NHL. He's had 2 solid years in the International League. He saw a loose puck and froze it and got the Blackhawks reorganized, and they've been having difficulty in their own zone in the last moments of this third period.
Now we play in the neutral zone as Greg Gilbert whacks it in. Vladimir Konstantinov goes up the middle to Steve Yzerman. Pushing it into the Chicago zone. Lemieux into the corner, lost the handle. There's a stuff shot and a save by Waite. He did a great job to get to the near post before Shepard could stuff it in. Now the Hawks start back. 3-on-2. Lemieux with a dump in, hoping for Gilbert, but he was beaten to the loose puck by McCrimmon, and the whistle sounds for the icing call. 64 seconds left in the third period.
Jocelyn Lemieux twice on this shift didn't go the extra mile. He casual in his attempt to get to a loose puck in his own corner. Fedorov beat him to it, almost resulted in a wraparound goal, and then instead of taking that extra step to get to the line and dump it in, he just fired it from his own side, and another face-off in the Blackhawks zone.
Jeremy Roenick stepping on the ice. He should be well rested. We have not noticed him on the ice very much in the second and third period. He's out there with Steve Thomas and Dirk Graham.
Racine with 40 assists last year, had 80 assists, 85 assists his last year of junior hockey in Victoriaville. So He moves the puck well. Good offensive defenseman.
Racine shot goes wide. Carson, Garpenloff, and Gallant for Detroit. And now it's cleared to center ice. Quickly back come the wings. Harson shot deflected wide. On the near board is Thomas. Steve Thomas clears it to center. Now taken by Gallant. He leaves it for Garpenloff, who flips it in. Chelios couldn't get it out. Garpenloff's shot goes wide. Coming to the near corner. Jimmy Carson picks it up. Clears it around the boards. Now a centering pass picked off by Waite to Chelios. And with 16 seconds left, Chris Chelios fires it off the boards back the other way. And the Blackhawks in a rope-a-dope style here to head to overtime. We've got 5 more minutes or less to play as regulation time comes to an end. We head into extra time in the stadium, locked up at 3.
Sports Channel kicks off the football season with plenty of hard-hitting gridiron action. This fall, Sports Channel will bring you live coverage.
The Blackhawks on a 5-minute power play. Graham deflected by Creighton. Cheveldae made the save, and on the rebound, Adam Creighton tied it up at 3:50. Meanwhile, the Red Wings had a big edge in play once again. Most of it was played in the Chicago half. The pass onto the stick of Eisbart. Eisbart goes in, tries to go hide the glove. Jimmy Waite, brilliant, makes the glove save on the breakaway. And Jimmy Waite is the reason that this game is going to overtime. He's been outstanding in the second and third periods. And the Blackhawk power play has scored all 3 of their goals.
The Hawks were outshot in the third 7-6. They've been outshot in this game 27-17 so far. Here comes Thomas, though. His shot is blocked, picked up by Roenick. And Thomas, he blasted it off the side of the net. Roenick in deep, battles back of the goal with Zombo. Now Larmer centered it, came free in front. Big save by Cheveldae. Rebound, Cheveldae! He stopped Roenick, and then maybe even a better save on Thomas. And Cheveldae spectacular here in the first seconds of OT.
Off the face-off at center ice, the Hawks come flying. Thomas playing on the left wing. Played the last exhibition game with Roenick and Larmer. Roenick shot the save. He fans at it as it's stepped on by Zombo, but it goes to Thomas. He whips a backhander blindly into the middle of the Cheveldae protector. And the game remains tied. Roenick with the first good chance. Fans on his second. And the whip backhand shot by Steve Thomas. And it's still a 3-3 game.
That might be the best chance, other than their goal, that might be the best chance they've had since the first period.
How about even strength? Most of their chances have come on the power play. But even strength, they've had few of them. They had 1 goal disallowed. Thomas and Noonan crashed the net.
Brad McCrimmon flipping it to center. Smith to Goulet. His pass rolled over the stick of Creighton, and now Adam got it back, but his pass stolen by McCrimmon. Got it to Miller over the line, and offside with Sean Burr going up the middle.
Brad McCrimmon made a good play. Adam Creighton dumped a high backhander to the near wing. Goulet was open. If it gets over the head of McCrimmon, Goulet would have had clear sailing all the way in. But McCrimmon jumped up, gloved it, and gave his team an offensive break. But, Burr went through the middle too quickly and forced an offside.
Carson, Gallant, and Garpenloff for Detroit. Lemieux, Gilbert, and Graham for Chicago. Lemieux bangs to center. Flopping around, winds up back in the Red Wing zone. Lemieux hustles, gets there, turns behind, centered it to the line of shot, and a save, rebound! Cheveldae again shut the door. He stopped Marchman and then had a flurry in front of the net. And Tim Cheveldae now becomes the story in overtime.
Well, Cheveldae has been well rested, but he comes up big in the early part of the overtime. Lemieux just with good second effort and hustle. Gets tripped up, but as he goes to the ice, he sweeps a backhand out to Marchman. Marchman cranks it up. Graham hacks at it once, hacks at it twice, but the stacked pads of Cheveldae prevent the Blackhawks from winning it in overtime.
The Red Wings last year had 34 wins. That fella, Tim Cheveldae, was credited with 30 out of the 34. The most wins for a Detroit goaltender and almost in 25 years or so. The last time a Detroit netminder won more than Cheveldae's 30 last year was Roger Crozier, who had, I believe, 40 wins back in 64, 65. So it's been a long time since the Red Wings have had a #1 goaltender to have the kind of year that Tim Cheveldae had last season.
I like Cheveldae's style. He's very quick. He's agile. He's got good leg work. The 4th-round pick in 1986.
He's 23 years old. Now back in the Hawk zone it goes. Chelios. The left wing boards and Thomas. Steve Thomas's pass deflects, but Smith carries on. And the crowd trying to spur the home team on here. Smith in his own end. Goes up the boards looking for Creighton. It didn't click. Back come the Wings. Fedorov over the line to Yzerman, shooting up off the glass. And now controlled by Thomas. 3 minutes to go. Here's Chelios. Chipping it in, hoping for Creighton in the corner against Zombo, but Rick Zombo won the puck. Got it to the left wing boards and Fedorov looking for Yzerman. Now Shepard over the line, tees it up, and then it's poke checked away. Nice play by Steve, or rather Kuchera, who leads the Hawks back. Frantisek Kuchera to Noonan. He moves in. Couldn't pull the trigger on the backhand. Now the Wings come away. Fedorov over the line to Miller. His drive blocked at the Hawk defense by Lemieux, and Karam's back to center ice. Wings dump it in, but they were short of center when the puck was shot ahead, and the whistle sounds for an icing violation against Detroit.
It was almost like the Blackhawks were relieved that it went into overtime. They probably felt they didn't deserve to be in overtime, and all of a sudden they've got a second win, and they've dominated the play in the overtime and have had more chances in the overtime than they had maybe the entire game at even strength. They've had 5 shots on goal, and all of them quality shots. Only had 9 shots in the first, only 2 in the second, and 6 in the third. Now Brian Murray's going to call his timeout. He doesn't like the situation. I think he wants to give his top players a bit of a breather with 2:12 to go in the overtime, so he calls his timeout.
Well, the Red Wings certainly, by virtue of chances, deserve a better fate. Have they played that well, or would you say that the Blackhawks might be showing some signs of tightness?
Well, it's a combination of the two. I think Detroit has really played a smart game. They've kept it basic. They've put more pressure on the Blackhawks. Their forechecking has been better. The difference is their power play and penalty killing has hurt them as it has in the past few years. Jimmy Waite making the good saves. And now Cheveldae coming to the front, but Detroit has played a very good game. As we said, they're a much improved team. They were probably one of the most improved teams last year, and I think they've even improved again this year. Maybe not quite as much, but they're a better team in the whole North Division. Even Toronto's improved with the trade they made. Grant Fuhrer, if he stays healthy, you wouldn't want to have to face him 8 times. You know you're going to come on the short end of the stick if he's on.
Roenick, Larmer, and Thomas for Chicago. Miller, Eisbart, and Burr for Detroit. A draw to the wing. Now on the far side, Paul Eisbart sends Kevin Miller to center. Miller over the Hawk line, trying to get around a check. Chelios got enough of him to tie him up, and back comes Thomas. His pass missed Larmer at center. And now Steve Smith flipped it ahead to Thomas. Thomas banks it ahead. Larmer races after it. Turns on McCrimmon, but he went down trying to make a quick move, and it's cleared to center ice. 1:40 left in overtime. And here the Hawks offside on the play.
Two other games, as we mentioned, the original 6 teams going at it tonight in the original jerseys. And Boston beat the New York Rangers 5-3. I think Milt Schmidt scored the winner in that one, and the Rocket Richard scored the winner as Montreal beat Toronto 4-3. Bill Durnan in the net for Montreal.
The Hawks hoping Bill Mosienko can get a chance here in overtime. Now here's the play in the Red Wings zone. Shot by Brown, and Chevrolet went down to stop it. It's cleared back to center. Brown got tied up. Here comes Carson trying to find it at his feet, and Graham got back to tie him up.
Boy, 2 360s there by Carson. Looked like Brian Boitano.
Garpenlaw looking to clear and did get it out to center ice. Hawks dump it back in. Constantino as we go to the final minute of the game. He feeds Carson on right wing, tipped it ahead to Garpenlaw. Turns behind the Hawks net on Kuchera. Garpenlaw turns, looking, trying to center one. Chelios blocked the pass. Gallant put it in behind. Garpenlaw's there again. His pass is deflected and stolen by Larmer, who gets yanked down. The play goes on. Here comes Thomas. He flips it in there. And Aronik in a big collision with Zombo in the corner, and the Wings able to clear it. And the Hawks back in offside with just half a minute to go.
Steve Larmer wanted to go the length of the ice. He had room, but he was yanked down as he tried to skate up of his own zone. Jimmy Waite was brilliant in the second and third periods. Jim Chevrolet outstanding in the overtime. Hawks came flying out of the gate the first minute of the overtime and had 4 quality chances.
And Mike Keenan, I believe, wants his time out here.
It was an unusual timeout signal, though. It looked like it was a combination of many things. Frustration by Keenan on no call in that last one. It wasn't too many years ago that Kerry Fraser bought Mike Keenan's house in New Jersey. Must have had bad plumbing or something, because
you're right, he was unhappy with that last non-call, and I've never seen a guy signal a timeout with one finger as he just did. But Kerry Fraser gives him the TO, and now with half a minute left. The draw will be just outside the Detroit line. Yzerman with Fedorov and Shepard. Aronik, Larmer, and Thomas out there for Chicago, and the draw is taken by Racine. Bounced it ahead. Chelios broke it up. Clear to the neutral zone. Blackhawks dump it in. 10 seconds to go. Racine back. Gave it away. Roenick centered it. Bouncing puck corralled by the Red Wings. And Shepard cleared it to center ice. And that's going to do it. Fedorov, a long shot, goes wide at the buzzer. And this game finishes in a 3-3 tie. The Blackhawks in overtime had their best sequence of chances in the game. The Hawks, with 7 shots in overtime, finished with a total of 24. The Red Wings had just 1 shot in OT. Their final total is 28. And the Red Wings certainly glad to get a point on the road, but certainly must be feeling as if they deserved a better fate.
They played well at even strength. What killed them were their special teams. Their power play didn't score, and their penalty killing didn't stop the Hawk power play. So the power play and goaltending for Chicago, and the failure of the Red Wings to score on their own power play and take advantage of the chances they had. Jimmy Waite was outstanding in the second and third periods, and Chevrolet shut the door early in the overtime to keep it a 3-3 game.
The Blackhawks from here head to Minnesota on Saturday night, and many of these same stations will be carrying that game in Chicago. Radio time beginning at 6:50 on WBBM, and we'll be on at 7 o'clock Central Time for the Blackhawks and the Minnesota North Stars, the team that knocked them out of the playoffs in a stunning upset in last spring's playoffs. That comes up on Saturday night. Your final here from Chicago Stadium.
Came up with the idea of installing, if you knew the old Polo Grounds.
Title as head of auto. In overtime, for their analysis of the game, back to the booth. Here's Pat and Dale.
Thanks, Jiggs, and a very thrilling opening night here in Chicago Stadium. Two longtime rivals going at it tooth and nail once again, and really a 3-3 tie has to be a very fortunate tie as far as the home team is concerned.
Well, sometimes when you open at home, you're a little bit more tight than the visiting team. You'd like to open sometimes on the road, but Jimmy Waite was outstanding in his opening game. He makes a great save in the third period on an Eisbart breakaway. Third breakaway of the game for Detroit. One of them they scored on early in the first period. Fedorov had a breakaway, but Eisbart stymied by the glove save from Jimmy Waite, who came on in the second and third period after giving up 2.
Waiting for
With their power play. 3 goals on the power play, and this one the tire. Probert off for 5 minutes, and Adam Creighton on his own rebound put it in to tie the game, and the Blackhawks salvage a tie because of their power play. And then early in the overtime, the